My name is Jeff, and you're watching Rolling the Score. Today, we're going to learn how to play Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is a competitive game of strategic railroad travel across the United States for 2 to 5 players, designed by Alan R. Moon and published by Days of Wonder. To begin setup, place the board in the center of all players. Shuffle the train car cards and deal 4 to each player. Then, place the remaining cards above or below the board in a face-down deck. Flip over the top 5 cards and place them next to the deck. If at any time there are 3 wild locomotive cards face up, immediately discard all 5 face-up cards and draw 5 new cards. Shuffle the destination ticket cards and deal 3 to each player. Each player will then review the 3 cards and decide whether they want to keep all 3 or if they would prefer to only keep 2. If they decide to keep only 2, the unwanted destination ticket is placed face down on the bottom of the destination ticket deck. Place the remaining destination ticket cards in a face-down deck next to the game board. Each player chooses a color and collects their 45 train cars and their scoring marker. Everyone will place their scoring marker at the beginning of the point track that runs along the outside of the game board. Finally, place the longest continuous path bonus card face up next to the board. The object of the game is to score the most points, and there are 3 ways to score points. First, by claiming a route between 2 adjacent cities on the map. Second, by satisfying destination tickets, which requires the completion of a path of train routes between the cities listed on each ticket. And third, by having the longest continuous path of routes when compared to all other players at the end of the game. With that, let's jump right into the gameplay. Starting with the most experienced traveler, players will take turns in a clockwise order around the table until the end of the game is triggered. This will occur when a player has 2 or fewer trains left at the end of their turn. Each player, including that player, will get 1 final turn, and then players will calculate and compare their final scores. During your turn, you will take one of 3 actions. One action is to draw train car cards. When taking this action, you may either take a single face-up wild locomotive card or 2 other cards, either from the top of the deck or from the row of face-up cards. Anytime a face-up card is taken, immediately replace it with one from the deck. If the deck runs out, shuffle the discarded train car cards and form a new draw deck. Another action is to claim a route. When claiming a route, a player will discard train car cards from their hand that match the color and length of a route between 2 adjacent cities. Gray routes can be claimed using any single color. After claiming the route, the player will immediately advance their point tracker based on the size of the route, using the reference printed on the board. For example, a 3 train car route is worth 4 points, and a 6 train car route is worth 15 points. You'll notice some double routes connecting cities on the board. When playing with 4 or 5 players, each of the routes can be claimed, but the same player cannot claim both. And when playing with 2 or 3 players, only one of the 2 routes can be claimed. And the last available action is to draw destination tickets. The player draws 3 destination tickets from the top of the deck and reviews them. They must keep at least 1 ticket, but they can choose to keep 2 or 3 if they'd like. Any unwanted tickets are placed face down on the bottom of the deck. There is no limit to the number of destination tickets you can have in your possession. Destination tickets are kept secret until the game is over. Once the game ends, you will review whether you have trains connecting the 2 cities indicated on each of your destination tickets. If you do, you get to add the points shown to your score. However, if you don't, you must subtract the indicated points from your score. Once the game is over, each player will adjust their score based on their destination tickets, and the player who has the longest continuous route on the board will score 10 bonus points. In the event of a tie for the longest continuous route, each of the tied players earn 10 points. Note that when counting your longest continuous path, you can count loops and can pass through the same city multiple times, but you can only count each train car once, meaning that you cannot include a branch that requires you to double back. The player with the most points wins. If there's a tie, then the tied player who completed the most destination tickets wins, and if they are still tied, the player with the longest continuous path wins. And that is how you play Ticket to Ride. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to mention it below. Thank you for watching.